Hi, this is Anita Tucker speaking from the Caravilla side here in Ein Surim. I've been speaking to a lot of you, my friends, all over the world since about the year 2000, when the Second Intifada and Oslo and Arafat and everything happened in Gush Katif. But right now we're getting very close to the Memorial Day ceremony here in Israel, in memory of the soldiers and the terror victims that were murdered over all the years since the establishment of the State of Israel, and as well as the next day, that's Independence Day. I just met up with my next door neighbor, Bryna Hilberg, who was also my next door neighbor, actually in Netzor Chazani in Gush Katif, and she's getting ready for tonight's ceremony that we have in our little community here, in our temporary community. Already we're here for out of Gush Katif for 5 years, and in memory of the soldier, her son, Yochanan Hilberg, who was killed in a naval SEALs operation in Lebanon. And we had, of course, a beautiful youth building in Gush Katif in his memory that we all participated in building. And that was a very difficult thing for Brian and Sammy Hilberg, because they lost not only their son, but they lost the memorial that was for the raising of his soul, his neshama, le'ilui nishmato, and that's not such an easy thing. And tomorrow Brian is going to be speaking at the new cemetery in Nitzan, in one of the other Caravilla sites, because Brian's son was interred, was uprooted, his grave was uprooted with the 48 other graves that were uprooted from Gush Katif, and he was reburied in Nitzan. So we'll all be going down there to the ceremony tomorrow. Not such an easy thing. There are 2 other soldiers from Gush Katif that are buried there. There were 45 terror victims in Gush Katif from our community of Netzor Chazani. We had 3 people that were murdered and the soldier. So we got a hard day coming up for tomorrow. And I think that a lot of the things that happened to us and the terror victims, also every place that you go down in Judaism and in Jewish life, it's a place where you're going to rise up higher. And I think this low point of the difficulties of having people die because of they hate you because you're a Jew, brought us to a better place today. And today we know, at least the people in the community of Netzor Chazani and Gush Katif know, that we have to be proud that we're a Jew. We have to be independent. We have to say we love the land of Israel, all of it, without being embarrassed about it. I think that's so very important. And if anyone tries to freeze the land of Israel, we cannot let it stop. We have to keep on saying we're going to build anew. We're really trying to build our communities anew, and it will be built, and it will be le'ilui nishmat, all these people that were killed. It will be for their memory, for a good memory of them. And we hope that we will soon be building anew. And we hope that every one of you out there will have the privilege to be part of this building anew as a memorial to these people who gave their lives so that we could have a state of Israel, a land of Israel. Actually, one of the people that were murdered in Gush Katif was a rabbi, Rabbi Yitzchak Arama. He was 40 years old. He was murdered on the roads of Gush Katif, and his family and his wife and his 6 children are still living with us here in Gush Katif. They too are waiting to have a new home in our community in that we're building. You know, we are building a new town. I hope you heard about it. Not far from here, in a place near the fields of Yesodot, in the Nahal Sorek River area, between Ashkelon and Jerusalem. And the land is already ours. We acquired it. We paid a lot of money for it, but we did acquire it together with the government and of Israel. And God willing, we will be building new homes and new farms and all that we can to build a new community, because this will be our victory over destruction, our victory over anybody trying to freeze building. We will build anew. And you know, a lot of times people in our community at the very beginning, after we were expelled from Gush Katif, had a very hard time hanging the flag of Israel outside of their home. It's hard to understand, because all of them were the most loyal citizens of the country of Israel, and their children all served in the Israeli army in the best units. But it was so difficult for them to now hang that flag outside, because it was that flag that came to take them out of their home. It was soldiers, our own soldiers, our IDF soldiers with the flag on their vest taking them out. And it didn't take us very long to realize that this is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is from God. And we have to know that the state of Israel was given to us from God as a gift. It's a vessel, and it's a vessel that we have to fill with contents, and to make it a really, really special place that will fulfill all the dreams of the prophets. A vessel that's filled with justice. When the law is upheld, the justice also has to be done, and that will be a land of places where people can build and blossom and flourish and maximize all that they have to give to the country of Israel, so that the countries all over the world will look up to us. And I think we're on the way of doing that. A lot of times people like to present the things as being black and dark, and Iran is threatening us, everybody's threatening us, but there's another side to the cup. I can't control Iran, I can't control everything, but I can control what's happening in my own country to be an independent country. And we're in Gush Katif, have not given up. We're going to hang that flag out there. We're going to be out there doing all we can to make sure the land of Israel is blossoming and flourishing. It isn't easy, but we hope you'll be there for us and help us and have the privilege of being part of this effort for this new year, of the new independent year of Israel, to be an independent country. And I want to take this opportunity to wish all our friends out there Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach, a very happy Yom Ha'atzmaut, because for us, we're going to have a hard time on Memorial Day, but we're going to be able to make that switch quickly. We're going to be celebrating Yom Ha'atzmaut. We're having a picnic of all the community together in a lovely place in Israel, near the caves of Beit Juvrin, the Jubrin caves, where David ran around. Our David, King David, yeah, he was out there, he was running around there. We're going to be there too. We're going to be having picnics, some fun games for the children. We're going to connect to the land of Israel wherever it is, and we're going to be out there, and we hope that you're going to be also grateful to God for this wonderful vessel that he gave us, called the state of Israel, the land of Israel, which we will do all we can to fill it with good things: justice, prosperity, freedom, and a flourishing, beautiful country based on Torah, Jewish Torah values. Thank you. Have a good Yom Ha'atzmaut.